High converting ads are one of the most important things that you can use right now to actually scale your e-com brand. And today I'm just going to break down everything on how we create high converting ads, how we come up with new ideas, all in this high converting ads masterclass. So without further ado, just let's get into it. High converting ads masterclass, right? This is exactly how you will crush it with your brand right now. What we'll cover, there's a couple of things that we'll cover. Of course, the fundamentals, then we'll cover video ads, statics, and then timeless classics that you can take inspiration from and that you can implement. By the end of this presentation, you'll be able to have a lot of new ideas that you can use to crush your ads and scale to your brand to the next level. A bit about me, I'm Vincent, I'm a founder of Chipper, and we've generated over $10 million in revenue for a lot of different e-com brands, from small brands to big brands like Fujifilm, Lakeshot Golf, Waldo, etc. So we're with international big brands. Like, for example, we scaled a sustainable razor company to 700K in November and December of 2024. As you can see, we scaled Lakeshot Golf to 156K a month. A skincare beauty concept brand from 13K to 69K, and then a hunting brand to 42K, basically 10x of profits, and just a lot more stuff. But today's not a lot about me, it's about you guys, right? Because I want to see you guys win. And we're starting off with the fundamentals, so make sure to not skip this at all. There's a couple of different fundamentals. I'm just going to put myself right here, might be the easiest. But there's a couple of different fundamentals that you have to get used to and that you have to implement, right? There's market awareness, there's market sophistication, the core desires that you have to focus on, and then combining these, right? The market awareness always has 5 different stages. You have unaware, problem aware, solution aware, and product aware, as well as most aware, or what we call as brand aware, right? The unaware stages are the hardest stage level, basically, or the hardest awareness level for people or to advertise to, right? Then problem aware, solution aware, they're quite similar, and then product and most aware are basically like retargeting most aware, right? Product aware, the same thing. And if you look at the full market, there's only always 3% of people who are ready to buy, and then you have 17% who's information gathering, 20% is problem aware, and then 60% is not aware, right? So that is a 60% unaware, and then basically around 37% is around problem aware and solution aware. Product aware, most aware, basically retargeting. So that's the 3%, and most brands target that 3%, which is not good at all, because if you target the 3%, you're like, okay, buy my product, discount this price, right? Not a lot of people will be there. So you always have to make sure that you're able to feed that 3% by launching ads around the problems, around the solutions, around the thoughts inside of your heads, right? By doing that, you feed into the 3%, but automatically people will resonate with those things and will buy from you automatically. The not aware is basically how you're able to scale to $1 million months. The 3% is most of the times you're stuck between like 50K months, and then from 50K upwards to $1 million a month is for the 37%. That's what we see with our clients as well. And the market awareness stages are super important to create your ad concepts and to create your ad structures as well, right? Because, for example, if you start from an unaware ad concept, you go from unaware, problem aware, to solution aware, to product aware, to aware. These are the phases that you go through when you're creating your ad. Most of the times you will create ads around the problem aware and the solution aware. So, for example, problem aware can just call out the different fears, the different desires that they're looking for with the solution. Then solution aware is basically what your product is doing. But this is super important to create good ad concepts, because you always need to look at the awareness stage, the market sophistication, and then also the desire. Most of the times you compare or you combine the awareness stage with the core desires, basically, right? The second thing that you always have to look at is your market sophistication. Nowadays, not a lot of companies, not a lot of products are in the first stage of awareness. Basically, first stage of awareness is that you opened up a new market. It's a completely blue ocean, a new product, a new invention. That was the iPhone, basically. That wasn't even iPhone, but it was just a phone, right? A couple of thousands of years ago, a phone. So basically, it's just introducing the solution. Like, you want to communicate with people, boom, here's a phone. Then the proof of claim, which is the second phase, is that more and more people will enter the market, right? So you have to start to provide proof. You have to start to provide credibility. For example, like clinically proven formula. By doing that, you start to build trust. You start to stand out with proof, and you differentiate yourself and validate that you're actually the right solution. The third phase is when there's more and more people coming into that. You will need to use a unique mechanism. So basically start talking about a patent version, or for skincare, for example, a different type of product or a different type of ingredient that not a lot of people use or just don't use, and market that. One of the best examples in marketing history is from, I think it was Claude Hopkins or David Ogilvy, where they were using tobacco, because back in those days a lot of marketing was done by the tobacco brands. It's toasted, and it was just a simple, or our tobacco is toasted, and it's just a simple mechanism of using or producing the product that every single brand was doing, but no one was mentioning it. So that's a thing. The third phase is a unique mechanism. You have to throw a new mechanism out there. A lot of times, if you look at like info products, drop shipping, they give new names. Agencies, they give new names, just because it's a unique mechanism, right? So for your product, you also have to look at what type of ingredients are there, what type of production process is there, what type of USPs are there that not a lot of people are looking at. The fourth part of the sophistication is basically the expansion of the mechanism, which is a bit as the second part, but you're basically exaggerating your claim way harder, like the triple action formula for weight loss and energy boost. So you're exaggerating it further, so you are becoming the bigger one. And then the fifth one is a market saturation, which most of the times a lot of people, or just a lot of brands, products are in that sophistication level, and that's when you tap into emotions and identity. So that's our process, is our identity hooking system. We created it by always looking at what people are getting triggered by, why people click and basically convert, because you create ads around that sophistication level, right? And around that identity, because people will start resonating with it. One of the best examples is Black Rifle Coffee. Coffee is a commodity, but what they did was speak to one type of identity, which is people who are in the military, the police, patriots, right? So always use your identity and combine that with your market awareness. And then this thing is probably one of the most important things as well, is like, what is the core desire that you're talking to? There's always 3 core desires. It's also based on Maslow's theory, right? So you always have wealth, health, and relationships. So people, they always purchase something to get a certain result back from one of these 3 categories. So if you combine the market sophistication level with identity, who is your ideal client? Who are they resonating with? What is the type of thing that they're looking for? And it goes deep. It goes super deep. Like, for example, a clothing brand that we scale to 500K, they're selling clothes, but they're talking about ocean life. So you resonate with people who want to save the ocean, who are more leaning towards greener alternatives, those type of things. And you use that inside of your ads. So you use people who look like those people, situations, environments, even. It goes super deep, right? Then you combine which phase you want to target. Most of the times it's either solution or problem. And then what core desire you're trying to target. So that is super important. For clothes, obviously, it's always the identity, but then relationships, you want to look good, or you want to portray some wealth or health, right? So first category for this is the video ads. I've got a bunch of different video ads for you that I'll go through, that I'll show you as well, and that we'll break down together. But most of the formats is either B-roll music, B-roll with a voiceover, UGC videos, or a combination of all of them. The most important thing with this is always your hook, right? So come up with the strongest hook that you are possibly able to think of, and then create a good body that encapsulates your product as well as move them from your market awareness stage. So most of the times you start off with a problem hook, make sure that your body is following the phases of solution aware to product aware to most aware, right? And then one tip that I will give you that you will always see is that you have to combine different visuals, different hooks. So you always have to combine a visual hook, an audio hook, and a text hook. Visual hook is what you're showing on the screen. Audio hook is what is being said. And a text hook is basically the overlay of text that you'll see. So, for example, with this one, I'll open these. These are the B-roll with music. So this is, for example, B-roll with music. So that is a pretty product aware and aware ad, basically, because they're showing the product. But it's B-roll, how the product is being used, as well as some USPs, right? Then the other one is B-roll with a voiceover, so basically showcasing the product. I'll enlarge the screen as you can see.
Looking for the perfect gift for your little one? Explore our adorable baby jewelry collection with wide range of nazarias, bracelets, pendants, earrings, and other accessories that are available in both 14 and 18 karat hallmark gold.
So that's basically just showcasing different types of product that they have. Then this one is a UGC. A lot of people use UGC. I've got a lot of other videos around how you can create UGC videos as well as with AI. So for example, like
if you're looking for the perfect summer skincare solution, I got 100% pure watermelon cucumber water locking moisturizer. This unique blend harnesses the power of watermelon and cucumber hydrosols to keep your skin hydrated.
As you can see, she's just using the product. And then this is a combination of all of them.
The summer of sips is here, so let's make some jalapeno margaritas. Hey y'all, I'm Elliot, also known as Apartment Bartender, and this jalapeno margarita is the perfect summer cocktail to get the weekend started.
So those are different type of formats that you will use, right? If we just continue looking at everything, the first one is working super well is the emotional storytelling. This type of ad is problemware, and it is focused on relationships and health. Of course, your relationship with your dog, the health. Always, it's pretty interesting to see because it's B-roll, but it builds an emotional story. So you start talking about the dog, the problems, right? Joint stiffness stole her playful spirit, and then this happened. The visual hook here is that the dog is walking super hard. The text hook is that, and then the audio hook is basically the sounds. And so by using that emotional music, a lot of people will feel the emotions. They give them the dog a name. This is Scout. As you can see, problem, not being able to walk a lot. And then we found this solution, right? And she loves them, and then there is social proof that she's walking around again. The second one is social proof overload. That is more for aware phases as well as problem aware phases. This is also relationship and health. It's a teeth whitening, it's High Smile, it's one of the best known brands. The hook is super good because it's pretty uncomfortable. They're looking at like teeth. Nobody always likes to look at teeth, right? And it's relationship health because it's better teeth, but relationships by looking better for the opposite sex, basically, right? So let's have a look at that one as well.
With coffee and soda, the stain build-up on the teeth is clearly visible. To transform yellow teeth stain, we apply...
So as you can see, the visual hook, pretty uncomfortable. Teeth, then straight away into the problem. And then the solution, we apply
V34. Brush for 30 seconds, and voila. Instantly brighter. This color
and then you see the social proof. But now the social proof overload will come.
Works perfectly for at-home touch-ups too. Take a look.
Insane. Oh my gosh.
So if you have a product where there's either a lot of UGC creators that use your product, or there is reviews from people, use these. You can even use photos like right behind each other, right? Second one is a secret information. It's from Squash Soap. They recently had an insane campaign with Sydney Sweeney. But so this one is a secret information. That's a good hook. It's like the secret information. It's unaware. And then also relationships, because you want to smell good for the opposite sex again. As you can see, a lot of the times it's either health, wealth, or relationships, right? And those are the biggest drivers for people. So you can focus on these.
So you want the real secret to smelling better naked?
So visual, a naked man underneath a shower. Again, scroll stopping for sure. Then text hook. You want the real secret to smell better naked, as well as the audio hook. First, you stop the scroll because you're like, what does a 50-year-old guy do under the shower? As well as the hook, because who doesn't want to smell better?
So you want the real secret to smelling better naked? Dr. Squatch, not only do these soap bricks have natural ingredients in them.
And so that one is even, in my opinion, a bit more down, because here you literally go straight to the product. Of course, it's only soap, but they package it super well by, again, talking about every single thing with the USPs.
But their long-lasting scents will leave you smelling so good, it'll be like you're wearing cologne straight out the shower. Women everywhere are obsessed with how manly these scents smell. It might just make them go feral. And if that doesn't boost your confidence, I don't know what will. So click on this link below to start smelling the way nature intended you to. Good.
So again, super hard hitting on the relationship part, right? Then this one is a scary truth with the watch out angle. It also stops you in your tracks, because it's oftentimes it talks about a common belief that a lot of people are believing or just like trust. So for example, this one.
This is the scary truth that no one tells you about getting Botox.
So here, scary truth about getting Botox. Visual hook, basically people getting Botox. Text hook, considering Botox, watch this first. The text hook also applies as a call out for your ideal ICP, you know?
With Botox, you can get bruising and swelling for weeks.
And as you can see, this one is a B-roll with text or with a voiceover.
Natural results and potential long-term side effects. With micro-infusion, you get natural-looking results. Minimal
As you can see, problem. They created a problem, which is also a form of us versus them, because they put the Botox as the villain and your product as a solution or the hero, right? As well as social proof, people using it,
downtime, typically less pain, and less chance of side effects. The needles are smaller, finer, and you can ensure that they are sterile.
So you basically take them through the whole process again. Second one, again from Squash, is a core desire call out, again, relationship. As you can see, just
if
music.
you smell like this, oh, I'm definitely coming over.
I will hunt you down.
No way. 10 out of 10, guys.
What if I told you there was a cologne scientifically proven to attract women? That would be an exaggeration, obviously. But this Dr. Squatch cologne smells so good, it should be illegal. And at $60, it's far less expensive than most other brands. That's just $60.
And so they, again, play super hard into the relationship part, as well as like a bit of humor, right? Their script writing super good, so look at them for inspiration for sure. Then founder story, also a super good format, because you are actually talking about the idea behind it. And every single time we launch these type of ads, they crush super hard. I got two different ones. One is with B-roll, and the other one is just the founder literally talking. So as you can see here, this one. So it's basically talking about how they came up with the product, as you can see, as well as like how many people or how many customers they had. This one is basically the founder just talking.
My name's Asher, and I'm the founder of Burst. We make creatine gummies, which are packed and shipped out of my apartment in Dallas, Texas. Story behind the...
And the thing is, it makes it relatable, because like I'm doing it out of my apartment. I'm a small business, you know. It makes it way more relatable, way more accessible the way he approaches it.
Business, I was a college athlete, and like a lot of guys, was dry scooping creatine, just trying to get bigger and stronger. And while I did see good results, what I didn't love was taking a bunch of powder straight to the face every single morning. So February 2023, started working with different manufacturers.
So found a problem, here's my solution again, right? Show don't tell. These are super great if you have a product that's actually show worthy, right? One of the biggest things is like cases for iPhones. You just throw them on the ground. This one is pretty interesting because it talks about a type of machine that blows wind.
So my son got me this weird portable compressor as a gift. At first, I thought it was kind of crazy. I mean, how could this tiny thing replace my trusty old air compressor? But after trying it just one time, I couldn't believe my eyes. It cleaned all my tools in minutes. It didn't just stop there. Cleaning my car, workshop, even my cameras and lenses all handled with ease, and I no longer need to carry those big blowers or drag my air compressor out. Plus,
as you can see, show don't tell, plus, again, us versus them. Villain versus hero, right? Problem to solution aware to CTA. This one, educational, the taboo hook, super good one, in my opinion. A lot of brands don't use this, but this one is Rise. They use the taboo hook super well, and I feel like a lot more brands can actually use it, you know?
Can't poop? Turkey tail. Struggle with insomnia and anxiety? Reishi. Can't focus and need creativity? Lion's mane. Blood sugar and cholesterol? Shiitake. Low energy and poor blood flow? Cordyceps. Poor skin health? King trumpet. This mushroom coffee has all those mushrooms I just listed. I've seen it everywhere on TikTok.
As you can see, can't poop, that's the hook that brings in the persons, because it's a pretty common thing. Not a lot of people talk about it, but it's like, can't poop, okay, I should listen. Why? And then they just talk about the product, right? The USPs, these are the things, as well as social proof again.
It's actually really good, easy to drink, and kind of addicting. If you want to buy yourself a huge pack with 30 servings, I put a link below for you. They're running a...
Makes it look like it's super UGC created, right? POV hook, we've used this with other brands as well. POV hook, why you should use them is because the reason behind it, it looks super organic. And this one is a combination of the POV hook plus the show don't tell, in my opinion. Super short ad, crushes, POV, you find the coolest sunglasses ever. It's, I think, an ad of like 5 seconds and it shows the product in action. Super good one, crushes it for sure. Relatable angle, that one is more for like type of vulnerable things. So for example, a shaping product.
So
right?
now I'm gonna put on the shapewear. So you can see, yeah, this is a little tight. So please, do not think that it's supposed to not be tight. It's supposed to squeeze you. This is how it looks from the front, the side, and the back.
This is good, in my opinion. The only thing that can be better with this ad is to add captions or more.
Hugging my body real tight, squeezing in them rolls or everything like that. And look how my shirt looks afterwards. You don't see barely any stomach. I ain't gonna say it's not there, but barely any stomach. We're getting red looks from into the side by.
So yeah, that's the thing. Then of course, static images. In my opinion, a lot of brands don't use static images because they're too afraid, because everything is now video, right? But we are able to scale brands with static images alone. So a couple of these static images are super important, like the us versus them. It is one of the best ones in the product aware anywhere phases because it's later down the line. But basically it highlights your competitive advantages versus other, most of the times used products, right? It's your brand versus competition or versus the old way. And it creates a super smart way of positioning your brand as the better brand, as well as like how your product performs versus others. And it builds huge brand loyalty. As you can see, this one, for example, it's the pan versus other pan, like toxin-free non-stick, because a lot of them are made with harm from chemicals, 100% recyclable, sustainable, no, 10 in one multifunctional versus one thing. Here as well, us versus them. Basically, again, the eco-friendly vibe, plastic-free, as well as like no harsh chemicals, no rinse aid. And you can even have it in video formats. True classic, super good brand. And this basically hooks you in with an us versus them hook. And then afterwards, it is social proof as well as USP. Soft here as well. It again plays into the health as well as like the relationship aspect, right? Because who doesn't want to look better as you can see, social proof. Before and after ads, that's super good way to do these ads if you have a product that can showcase before and afters and has an end goal in mind, right? Super good way. One thing is that you shouldn't do this with weight loss, or you should do it with or without this, because otherwise you might get flagged from Facebook. So super important that you're not using these for weight loss. And it's a visual transformation. As you can see, the dark circles around your eyes versus after using the product. Real patients, real results. So that's also a thing, before the product, after the product. So that's a good way of showcasing a before, after in a more regulated version of advertising on Facebook. Then organic social proof. This one is working super well. So it's either tweets, it's screenshots, Slack messages, as well as like POV selfies, even with like text that you make on Instagram with like the text overlay, as well as the background, the white background. That works super well. It's a good way to high case social proof, and it's way more organic. So it integrates better in the platform. You can use those things as well for videos, in my opinion. Static ads with statistics, super good. Always do it based on customer feedback, but that gives more people more information about the product, as well as what the product can do for the customer. Super important. Press ads, these are super well because they have a lot of social proof, as well as signals to people that this brand is legit. Nowadays, what you can do if you're in the health segment is basically use health.com, for example, because they're not able to copyright those things. But these style of articles work super well. We've used them for skincare brands and it performs pretty good. Post-it notes, they're simple, but they're also super effective because a lot of people take time to read it, and the viewer engagement goes up because everyone wants to see the next slide, basically, right? And then of course the product, as you can see. Feature point outs, every single brand should do this because it's an easy way to showcase your USPs as well as why you're better than other brands. Celebrity endorsements, of course, depends, right? If you have a big brand, then you can use those things. But like the biggest one is of course from Hexaclad with Gordon Ramsay as well. It's a good attention grabber because people recognize the faces, and then it showcases that your brand is basically legit. And here, fashion, always a good one, good for showcasing the sizes that a lot of people wear. I like this a lot because then you can see the height as well as like the type of body composure, right? This one as well. And then the last one is Timeless Classics. This one, I'm 100% sure that it's made by the same agency, but you have like a funny take on pizza plus London to Pizza, basically the world's cheapest airline. And then for Nutella, this is bread, this is breakfast. Turning bread into breakfast since 1964. Super good ad, super funny one. It's also a version of Us versus Them. This one from Tesla, it takes 3.1 seconds to read this ad. The same time it takes a Model S to go from 0 to 60 miles an hour. Stops you right in your track. It is a super good awareness ad. And I think they took a lot of inspiration from David Ogilvy's at 60 miles an hour. The loudest noise in a Rolls Royce is the electric clock from back in the days. Like, as you can see, the price for a Rolls Royce back in the day was only 14K. So these timeless classic ads are still working nowadays. These ones are more like witty timeless classics, right? You showcase the product as well as you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Movie quotes, song quotes, those type of things you can all use. Review ads, but like bad review ads. So 0 stars, would not recommend Satan, the Bible app. You're able to use these because not a lot of people like to see negative reviews, but you're able to use negative reviews to hook people in because everyone wants to see why a brand is bad, and then you can make it funny because you would not recommend Satan on a Bible app. This one as well, grab the life by the balls instead of the balls from Yule, big company with USPs and feature point outs. So yeah, that was in general the high converting ads masterclass. You could use all of these learnings basically to start creating way better ads. Always think of what phase I'm in of the awareness stages. Always look at either problem aware or solution aware and then work your way down. Look at the market sophistication, but most of you will all be inside of the identity part. So look at what your ICP is, who they are, the demographics, where do they hang out, what type of slang do they use. It's all in the research. Use that and then focus on which parts of the core desires you want to target to. Thank you for watching. I hope you find this helpful. If you have any questions, leave it in a comment down below. And if you want us to help you scale to 6 and 7 figure months, then there's a link in the description as well. And I'll see you in the next one.